Hi everyone! In this episode, I'm going to make a choker and some earrings from the amulet that we played around with in videos number 17 and 23. Like our previous putting it together session, this is going to be more of a streaming style, although I will include some notes on the screen so you can hopefully follow along. I'm going to be going quickly, so feel free to just watch, or please slow it down and pause as needed if you want to follow along to get some more practice. First, I'm going to tackle the choker. I've made a template for where to position this on the neck, and I also uploaded the female Nord head to help with positioning of both the choker and the earrings. These are available as resources in the miscellaneous downloads section of the demo mod. I'm going to work with the gemmed amulet mesh that we edited before to make it shorter and make it glow. I've called that Big Gem Amulet F_0V2. For things that go on the head, you only need to make one size because, although Skyrim applies some scaling to the head, it doesn't really weight slide like the rest of the body. So we can just make one size, and it doesn't matter which size we start with, so I'm going to bring in the _0V2 mesh for this. Okay, here we go. First, we get this into place, and we reshape it a bit with the transform tool. Then I'm going to move vertices around to line it up a bit better. And let's go ahead and get rid of the metal beads. Then I move the vertices a bit more, inflate a little bit more. That looks good, so now we get the amulet positioned in place. I want to make this chain look a little thicker, so I'm using the Move Vertices tool again with a very small brush. Here I ran into a little problem because the amulet was in the way, and even using wireframe did not help. So I temporarily moved it with the Move menu, which lets me see exactly what value I used, so I can just reverse it after I'm done working underneath. Now I check the partitions. 35 amulet is fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove vertex colors from the metal by painting white over the mesh. There we go, and a little more tweaking on the chain, just making it a little bit thicker. All right, I think we are done. So let's open that up in NifSkope. Oh, I can see we have the wrong bones in here. So let's go back into Outfit Studio to re-weight paint. We don't need the clavicle bones for this, just head and spine too. The trick here is that we don't want the amulet to bend and twist because that's not realistic. So I'm spending a little time here to see if I can get this working well, getting the amulet weight painted to a consistent color all the way across it. Okay, well it's not perfect, but I think this will do. So export is our final NIF. Now we're going to optimize in NifSkope, like I showed in video number 22. That looks good, so we save this. And then we move on to the earrings. Way back when, we also separated out the side gems of the amulet and saved those as their own NIF. I'm going to use those to make the earrings, so I'll drag in the amulet side gems F_0 NIF. Then I'm just going to delete one of them because it's a lot easier to build one earring first on one side, and then duplicate it and mirror it to the other side. Let's go ahead and remove vertex colors from this metal too. And then I want to add the double-sided flag in the shape properties so that it doesn't go all invisible from the back. Then we position it on the ear. This took a bit of time, it was a little tedious, but you just have to keep using the transform tool to get it right. And then I'm going to use the black box in the middle of that tool to make this earring just a little bit bigger. Good. Now let's duplicate both meshes, select those, and put them below the first gem, scaling them to be a little bit smaller. And then we're going to do that 2 more times, repositioning each of these gems as needed. There we go. This looks good. Now we're going to merge all these shapes together, well, all the side settings into one shape, and then all the side gems into another shape. Then at the end, I'm going to rename the 2 final meshes. And then duplicate those, mirror them along the x-axis, and then merge again so we end up with just 2 shapes for the 2 earrings. One for the metal parts and one for the gem parts. Now it's time to fix the weight painting. Earrings only need to be weighted to the head, or else they will distort into weird shapes when you move. There we go. This looks good when we move the bones. So we're all set to export again. Now open in NifSkope to optimize. And you can already tell from the weird lighting here that we need to fix the normals. So I go ahead and do that. And now let's copy over the BSLightingShaderProperties from the amulet so that we get a matching emissive glow. Then save the NIF, close these up, and now we're ready to add them to the game. For the sake of time, we only made the female version, but I do advocate making items work for both genders. So maybe we can come back and do this for men in a separate video. And oops, right about here I remembered that we didn't change the partition. So let's go ahead and do that in NifSkope. Alright, after that's fixed for both meshes, we save the NIF. Now we close Outfit Studio and open SSE Edit. I'm going to add these to the demo mod, and I'm just going to copy the belt AA record and change it for the choker. Then we repeat the same process for the earrings record. And next we make the armor records, and we'll just use the belt again as our template. Oh, here this reminds me that we didn't make ground models for these, but let's go ahead and put the file path in here so that we don't have to come back later. Finish out the rest of the record, tweak keywords if you want, and, most important, don't forget to change the armature so it points to the new AA record that we made. Okay, now do all that for the earrings too. Then close SSE Edit, saving the plugin on the way out. And now let's make the ground models real quick, and we'll do the choker first. Then we do the earrings. We can mask one side, position the other side, then invert the mask and repeat. But I usually get impatient with that, so I'm going to just delete one side, fix the one that's left, then duplicate and mirror it. And then export this so we can put it into a working ground model NIF. Okay, now open a ground model, and let's just use this one, and then copy over our new meshes. Here I can see I forgot to unskin the meshes. So let's do that real quick in Outfit Studio, and then re-export. Now we copy our meshes over to the working ground model, and remove the old block, and fix the normals again. That looks good. I'm just going to change the name of the root node here, and then save it with the name that we used in the plugin. And then we repeat the process for the earrings. And now we are ready to test this in the game. Load up a female character and add the choker and earrings to your inventory. They look pretty good in the inventory window. The earrings are probably a bit too big, but it's okay for this demo. Then we put them on and, oh, of course, there's a problem and they're not showing. Okay, I think the issue is that I forgot to remove the weight sliding flag. So we have to go back into SSE Edit to fix that real quick. And that did the trick. And here I think they look pretty good. Except for the weird shadow that you can see on here. And I'm just going to go ahead and fix that by removing one of the flags in the NIF. So let's go in. Take off the Receive Shadows flag. Save this NIF. And then if we re-equip it in the game, it'll use the new NIF that we just edited. That looks better. If you'd like a different color metal, feel free to add a texture set to the plugin for these. I would suggest one of these vanilla textures, and the records would then look something like this. Do note that these textures are not a perfect match, but it works okay as an example. The last thing I want to show you is that items worn on the head don't work the same for all races. Argonians and Khajiit need their own special meshes. And for the earrings, we could also make a mesh specifically for Altmer and Bosmer since their earlobes are a bit different. We'll cover how to set up the records for different races in a later video. For now, you can remove races from the list in the Armor add-on record if you don't want the item to appear on certain races because you didn't make a NIF that fits them. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little exercise. We will come back to this choker and earrings later for some other lessons, so keep them for future use. Coming up, we're going to talk more about vanilla and old UNP meshes and their issues, and then we will get on to creating and using sliders in Outfit Studio. I'll see you again soon for the next episode. Bye!